Watching football is a lot of fun, but it's even better when you got some skin in the game. You guys hear me talking about for weeks, months, even years. MyBookie.ag is the place to go, whether you're expert or rookie. Here's what you do. If you want some real entertainment, make a parlay. Pick 3 teams to win. Hit all 3. Turn $100 into $600. So much to bet on. College basketball, football, NBA, NHL, custom props, even esports. Man, friggin' esports. It's amazing. And recommended these guys for years because, trust them, great reviews. They've been in the business for years and years and years. And the mobile site, super easy to use for on-the-go betting. And if you sign up this week, MyBookie will give you a 50% deposit bonus. Jumpstart that bankroll. And also, make sure to follow BetMyBookie on Twitter. They personally respond to every mention in DM. Not to mention that they've also given away more than $10,000 in free money to their followers this football season. So, don't miss out on one of the best sporting weeks of the year. It's always great. Log on to mybookie.ag right now. Use promo code FTW and get 50% deposit bonus. That's promo code FTW. You play it, you win, you get paid. Welcome back to the Start the Communication Group Thunder. Don't be another bull. Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best weekly podcast, show about everything, and zero, absolutely nothing at all. Coming right at your ass 1 day a week. Sin Shotgun is Uncle Nick. Give him a follow on Twitter at Nickson. Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Don't really have a choice. I'm contractually obligated for you to sit here.
And I'm happy about it. Thank you.
There we go. Tell friends, spread the word. iTunes, Stitcher, Radio as well. And even though I know it's still technically November, I just really don't care because anytime after Thanksgiving is Christmas season to me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we were talking before the show that there's not a lot of new Christmas songs that actually stick. I know every year that pop stars just try to record an album just for sales and clicks and whatnot. But this Kelly Clarkson song that came out fairly 2013. I think this one's got some staying power.
Yeah, I mean, to a point where for quite a while, I've thought that this was a Christmas traditional song. To be quite honest, I mean, if you live in the Twin Cities right now. If you love Christmas music, obviously Cool 108 is the place where you can listen to it, where it's playing 24/7 right now until I think it goes through the week of Christmas, and and you hear this song every once in a while, and along with the traditional "Here Comes Santa Claus," Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it's like, man, is this a traditional Christmas song? And yeah, it's catchy, it's great, and yeah, it's awesome.
And if you're going to buy a home, Josh Belter Remix Preferred is the guy to go with to sell your home or buy a new home on the Christmas tree. Give him a call at 763-2617-2 and Josh Belter Remix Preferred. JoshBelter.com. There you go. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving out there, everyone, everywhere. And also, of course, that. Also, big shout out to producer Allie, who's under the weather. She's a little sick.
Aw.
Yeah.
She's eating too many Christmas cookies. She's getting herself sick.
No, I think she has lupus.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. She's got like flu or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nick, what's new in your world?
Me. Let's see. I had a good Thanksgiving. Spent it with Dad, which almost didn't go without drama.
Yep.
I was pretty happy with. There was some good and the bad, I guess. Would you like me to tell that story, or did you want me to lead this?
Yeah. Let's go into it.
All right. So the past few years, in order to develop a good relationship with my dad, me and him decided, as black sheep of the family, to do our own thing on Thanksgiving. We decided to. We've been going to Treasure Island Casino because Thursday nights, no matter what the holiday is.
Hold on. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. All right. Now proceed.
Correct. So we decided to go. We've been doing it the last few years. My dad is a seasoned gambler, I guess, to say the least. And we usually can get in. All his meals are comped for me and him, and we can take usually a VIP line to cut across all the normals who wait in the long buffet line, and we get our meal right away at 4:00. This year, however, I guess Treasure Island changed their policies and stuff, and my dad's not VIP enough, quote, VIP enough for us to use that quick line, so we had to wait in the line with the normals.
Well, now, the tough thing about buffet lines is that there's limited seating, just like any place, and people spend an inordinate amount of time at the buffet.
Yes, especially seafood night buffet, because obviously all you can eat crab legs, all you can eat oysters, something I think you would enjoy. Someone like me, who's not a big seafood fan, does not really care for.
So you waited in line for 5 hours?
We waited in line it was less than 3.
Oh.
It was a little over 2 hours. So the buffet line opens at 4:00.
Yeah.
We got there a little bit before 3, and there was already a line forming, which should have been our first red flag, but it didn't look too bad. So we decided we would gamble for 10 to 15 minutes and get back at like 3:15.
Wait, gambling for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing.
Yeah, there is. If you're bad at it like we are.
Yeah.
So after blowing $20 in 15 minutes, we get back there and the line quadrupled, and we jumped in line, and then the line kept forming and behind us and stuff, and 4:00 came, and sure enough, everyone, letting everyone in, the VIP people first, and then the big groups, and there's swarms of people. There's swarms of 7 out of 10 people were Asian, and they brought their families of 10 to 12 people. So you have long line with all of us slowly waiting to get in, and we think we were probably about 15 to 20 people out from when the buffet hit max capacity, where we kind of had to wait for people to start leaving before we could get in.
Yeah.
So so I mean, because it took us about maybe 45 minutes to get to where we had to stop, and then wait another 45 minutes to an hour to kind of get through there to get to our turn up there. And I think my dad almost died because he was cramping up just standing for 2.5 hours. And but we finally got in, and I got to have food. The food was good. It's averagely to good. I always complain that the stuffing is the worst stuffing I've ever had. It's this gooey, gunky, watery stuffing. I'm like, dude, this isn't how stuffing should be made. But they had they had turkey, they had pizza, they had random knick-knack, they had Chinese food and stuff. Random knick-knack stuff that any buffet has. But obviously, the creme de la creme is the crab legs that people go for, and there's 5 or 6 spots throughout the buffet line where they're serving up crab legs, so you always see lines of people and stuff. So, but overall, it was a good time. It's something me and Dad usually we're fine with.
And you bonded. How many plates of crab legs did he eat?
He only had one, which is it's something we talked about.
It was so worth it then.
No, it was not. But I mean, he stacks the legs up. I mean, you stack it up. But we made a point. He made a point that, Nick, I don't have an appetite like I used to. I used to be able to do 2 plates of crabs and 2 plates of oysters, and he only did 1 of each. So, is this the end of our tradition? It might be. Maybe we'll do something else or go to a more convenient line place or something.
Because an hour in, if you could have gone to just any old country buffet, you could have checked out and seated right away. Would you have done it?
I would have done it. Yeah. I mean, I would feel bad for my dad because that's because there's not a lot of places you can do all you can eat crab legs. Red Lobster I don't think ever does it. A lot of places they can't freaking afford it because this buffet meal is typically $40 a person. But obviously my dad gets a comped because he's sells his soul to the casino.
Yeah. So you did get dinner comped.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't have VIP.
We didn't have the VIP because the VIP line gets in right away. You wait maybe 10
So
minutes.
you didn't have enough points.
I don't know how it does it, and I wish I would be more prepared to explain how the system. What I kind of saw online because I was going through the Treasure Island Resort Casino's line about how like your players card, your reward members. There's like 5 stages or something, and like they're all different colors. And my dad's like in the middle. He's like sapphire blue, and the VIP line is like only for like the diamond and the something else. Like so, my dad's like one step below it. So there was part of the conversation where we kind of joked like, well, that you should try harder next year so you can get it. But then again, the back of my head, there's that responsible part of my brain where it's like, Nick, tell him no.
How many points would he have needed?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know I don't. And this is my dad. I don't think he even knows like why he's in the bracket that he's in. I mean, it's. I don't know the things with it. Because my dad goes every Wednesday. That's his freaking tradition. I don't know if they double the points on the slot machines that he plays on or not. So I mean, like he banks on that.
I like that Treasure Island has a smoking section. Because if they ban smoking in the entire casino, like some have, like they would lose so much of their clientele that they would go out of business. I understand that.
Yeah.
But also it's open air, like wide open room to the non-smoking section, and it's just like it's like a light smoking section.
I know you don't. I know you don't go to casinos that often and go to the bingo halls, but it's funny. The bingo halls, there's an open section, and then there's a glassed box section for the non-smokers. Like they put the non-smokers in the goddamn box.
Wait, see, that's kind of backwards. I feel like you should put the smokers in the box because I think they would like that more.
You think they would too? I don't know.
No fan.
No fan.
Yeah. It's like, what happened to Grandma? Oh, she died of CO2 poisoning and playing bingo. She almost had blackout. But.
So, can I drink this now?
Oh yeah. So Nick has some BCAA energy going on. I give him 2 scoops, and I'm gonna see if his heart explodes.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't explode. How's it taste?
Tastes really good.
There you go. It's the orange crush flavor.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nick. Yeah, you should. Since you don't drink coffee, you should get a thing of that. Like, if you need to pick me up in the morning.
Well, I used to do the Spark Energy.
Yeah.
Something that
Power thirst.
An Avocare product that my aunt is part of. I used to do that for.
Well, your aunt's in a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
How's that working out for?
I think she's getting by. I love it. I love it because I get these products that I like doing. But I stopped all of it because of when I was doing Whole30 last month. I wasn't allowed to have stuff like that, So, yeah. So I mean, since I'm not on Whole30 anymore, I haven't gotten back to my Spark or like having stuff in the morning to keep me up. Mostly because I think I've been sleeping a lot better, and when I'm awake in the morning, I feel pretty good. So I never really needed a energy boost. Oh, I need it in the afternoon probably. For work.
Well, we'll see if Nick's heart explodes because that would be good pod. Also good pod. So I got a new phone, and I've always been the person that has sort of mocked and laughed at people like going out and getting the new phone. It's like, oh, I know I have the iPhone 3, but the iPhone 4 is out. Like 7 years ago, but I don't know. For some reason, I really wanted to get a camera that looked really good taking photos, taking video, and the Google Pixel 2 had gotten great reviews. A couple of friends have the Google Pixel 2, so I'm just like, all right, I got an upgrade available. Let's just go all in. So I got the Google Pixel 3. This thing is the size of a laptop. I don't know why, because I had the iPhone 6. Just like the standard size, and I got pretty used to that. But apparently, that's technically a small phone now. Look at Nick. You have a 7.
I have the 7.
Yeah, so that's like a normal size phone. This one is this one's Magnum. But here's the trailer for the thing. Pixel 3. Actually, is there any talking on here? Probably not. Probably need to go to a review, but. Whatever. So far, like I've had an Android phone before, and the Google phones are Android based, so it's not like completely foreign to me, but just trying to figure out how to work things. And also what bugged me is that I have to use both hands to use my phone now. You know how annoying that is?
That seems so frustrating, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny to see the evolution of how the cell phones. It used to go from like you wanted such a slick small phone, and now the thing is to get these bigger phones. But it's just come to a point where these phones are computers. So I mean, it makes sense to have kind of a laptop sized computer. But I mean,
the notch is on the Pixel 3 XL. It's tall as hell, alongside a much larger than normal chin.
Oh, yeah. It's, so do you see that black thing at the top of the phone? They call that the notch. And apparently, like, so many people have bitched about it. But I've not found it to be intrusive at all because it's not like apps or video extend up there. So this is such a first world problem that people are, like, trashing the Google phone just because of the notch. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the newest iPhones, they got rid of that, didn't they? Wasn't I think that was the whole point of the new iPhones, wasn't to get to have it all like completely glass, right? I thought aren't the newer iPhones like without they don't even have a home button anymore?
So I'm waiting for the phone case to come because they got an OtterBox and they also got a pop thing.
That's gonna be bigger.
Yeah,
so big.
Well, I'm afraid to move around with that thing now because it's so slick, and because I feel like the phone it needs some sort of friction that you can grab onto.
Oh,
because I feel like if it's too slippery, it's like I know that engineers made this to be super sleek and sexy in the mold of Steve Jobs, but I'm gonna drop this thing and I'm gonna break it, and then I'm gonna have to pay my deductible, and then to get a new one, probably break that one too, and circle of life.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you buy that?
Verizon.
Okay.
And also, man, it's so. So I ordered it yesterday at 5 p.m. and they have the option where they can send it to you by 10:30 the next morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
so this morning the FedEx guy shows up. Is like, hey, here you go. I'm like, man, technology and logistics are amazing. But let's hear what this Rebroadcast has to say.
Also, but there's a lot going on here too. The regular size Pixel 3 does not have this notch. So the XL display is a 6.3-inch 2960 by...
See, so what are people...
what is it?
All right, so here on the left is the Pixel 3. On the right is the XL. And you get more screen. It's a larger phone. But you have to put up with the notch. Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. Shut up, everyone.
1440 flexible OLED display that goes right up to the edges, as you can see, just as close to the edge as the OnePlus 6 or iPhone XS or any other flagship. And the smaller Pixel 3, with no notch of shame, has a 5.5-inch 2160 by 1080 display. Also,
is that what you got? Is that the one?
No, I got the XL.
Now, that's going to be a sneaky candidate for small phone of the year. That's just the state of phones we're in right now. Small phones are getting big. There's no headphone jack and no expandable storage, just like last year's Pixels, but we know there will be a 64 gig or 128 gig version.
What size did you get?
There's Snapdragon 845 and...
I got the 128.
Yeah,
because I'm just like, just whatever. Just get everything. It's fine. Although there is unlimited cloud storage for photos, so now I'm thinking it's like that may be redundant. And plus, I stream all my music anyway, so... Yeah.
Oh,
4 gigs of RAM inside, which it's kind of weird to say, but that's actually less RAM than I'd expected. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And it does...
Man, this guy lives a pretty soft life. The notch of shame. This phone has less RAM than I expected. You know there's people in this world that are eating dirt. Like that's their meal to look forward to. We got some red dirt tonight. Great.
Keep the fingerprint reader on the back in the same spot where it belongs, at least as long as they're not doing it below the glass yet. And also still one camera, which we'll talk about in a second. But you're definitely wondering at this point, what's the deal with the notch, right? We've seen phones with notches all year round, and we get it. It's necessary. We want to get the screen as close to the edges as possible. But this notch is a lot taller, specifically, than any other notch we've seen in any phone. And there's still a chin. What gives? So up at the top...
I'm done with this guy.
Okay, so Google is the. When I think of the phone market, there's I guess technically 3 now. There's the iPhone market, Apple. There's the Galaxies, because those are still a thing, right?
Yeah.
And now there's Google. So yeah, so you're the first person I know who has a Google phone. Cool.
Well, I mean, it's basically just an Android phone. But here's the thing,
Android.
like people get too dogmatic and about their phones. I think, and like people be Team iPhone, people be Team Droid, people Team BlackBerry. It's like I've had all those phones, and I'm just like, what can you do for me? Like what can you do better?
I think the problem with phones, I mean, overall, I think the general thing with phones is that they're so gosh darn expensive. I mean,
Yep.
$1,000 for these newer iPhones, and I know there was an article, this TV thing this morning about how, like Apple's like losing money, like stocks are down because no one's buying new phones because people aren't upgrading their phones every 2 days. Like it's like goddamn leasing a car. Like they want you to keep buying cars. It's like that's how the economy is. That how economy runs?
Yeah.
They want you to keep buying brand new stuff.
Well, it's like why the auto manufacturing is having issues, and like GM is moving jobs because they're building cars that last longer now. So it's like, oh, okay, so you're buying a new car and then you're holding on to it for 12 years now, as opposed to just trading it in every 4 years. Oh, cool.
I mean, that's just. I mean, they obviously thought that is that how our society is supposed to run, where we keep buying new and new stuff over and over. Like, that's so mind blowing.
Well, you're saying like I'm not really that big of a car guy. I just want a car that will get me to point A to point B. Like I really don't care about the flashiness. Like our cars are a Camry and a Dodge Caravan. Yeah, but like people love cars as representations of like social status and things like that. It's not really gotten into it. It's like I don't even like buying new-ish cars. Like give me the sweet spot where there's been so much depreciation that the thing's not going to be dropping that much more. I'm in. Mm-hmm. That's my spot.
I completely understand too. I have an iPhone 7. It still runs, and I think I'm done paying it off next month, and it's like, oh, now I start looking at new phones. It's like, no, I'm fine with it. It works.
Does it work though, Nick?
Okay, fine. I want the newest one.
Well, what's gangster about it is that, and it's been proven, like Apple will start slowing down former, like older versions.
That's so bullshit.
Yeah, but what can you do? Here's Lion King.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Is that James Earl Jones?
Yep.
But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Oh my God, look at that thing. Look at that CGI. Little Simba. What's going on? You're going to tell me that cute thing is going to try and get Mufasa to get up after getting trampled by wildebeests? Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to die crying.
Spoiler alert. So this is
Donald Glover is Simba, I'm guessing.
Yep. So is this the new thing now? The new trend that Disney is taking all the classics and making them CGI, right? Making them real.
Yeah.
Is all that real? Is all that CGI, like the sky and everything, or is that like are they doing real shots and then they're putting all that?
I'm guessing it's all CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the interesting thing because they call it the live action.
Yeah.
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 but
Then that's
it is
what
not.
that's what blows my mind when they do that. And also, if I can rant for a second, with all these new things that are coming out, these new remakes, they should change the title of the thing. They shouldn't call it the Lion King. They should call it Lion King parentheses live action or like the year or something. Just so people, because when you have to Google the Lion King, you have to know like, am I talking about the 95 version? Are we talking about the 2019 version? It gets confusing.
Something that is confusing is the awesomeness that is the good folks at the Strother Communications Group. You know why? Because if you need a new website, if you need basically anything in the digital marketing sphere, they can help you out. They will do it up for you. Find out more, go to scgpr.com. The Strother Communications Group. All right, Nick, get the news ready.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Ain't got time to believe.
You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Nick.
All right, Nick, what's going on in the world
You
today?
are fake news. Sir, go ahead.
All right, first news story that's coming out is from CNN here. David's Bridal
Down at David's
is
Bridal.
going out of business.
Well, are they going out, or they're just declaring bankruptcy?
They're just declaring bankruptcy.
Okay, so that can mean a few things.
Was that two different things? Okay, well, so another line of the things that they're closing in the last couple of years, because I feel like every other episode we talk about something randomly, if it's Sears or whatnot. So something I never thought about was be David's Bridal going out of, or going, buried in mountains of debt, and I'm not sure. Some people are still getting married, right? And dresses still cost a lot of money. So it sounds like filing for Chapter 11. So I'm not the economics guy. I forgot is that the bad one, or is that 13 or 8?
It's either 7 or 11.
It owes between $500 million and $1 billion to creditors, according to court records.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, so quite a bit. The agreement will allow the David's Bridal, to continue operating its more than 300 stores. So, obviously the big question is, oh my God, are people who are currently planning their weddings, are they going to lose their stuff? Right now, I don't believe so. I believe they're still keeping all the things they have signed up now, they're going to keep. So,
what's the funny thing is that so the wife got her dress at David's Bridal, and the person who helped her pick out her dress, like the employee there, was one of my longtime ex-girlfriends.
Oh,
so she tried to put her in a large right away, and my wife is a pretty skinny person, so I was just like, oh, it's a bit of a slap in the face. But of course, how random is that?
that's crazy. That is nuts. Yeah. It says here that it's a combination of sales are going down, marriages, I guess. They're saying here the number of marriages per 1,000 Americans has fell from 8.2 in 2000 to 6.9. So, to me, mathematically, that's only a 1.3 drop, but I guess, that kind of add up. But, there's also a lot of competition is pretty rampant. There's a lot of small-scale shops. I think a lot of people like that traditional stuff and whatnot. So.
Shops. What Well, it's not like you can buy wedding dresses online. Wait, yes, you can. But the whole experience, but the whole experience of, going there and picking out the dress and the cliche saying yes to the dress, whole thing. That's still a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. That's why, as I said, this is kind of a shocking. This is I'm not married. I haven't been married that I know of. Thing. So that's why it is kind of shocking. But I don't know, maybe prices and stuff. I guess I do kind of think maybe people's attitudes of marriage has changed and whatnot, and maybe it's kind of down a little bit. I didn't think it'd be enough for Chapter freaking 11.
Well, what can you do? All right, what's next?
All right, next one up. Local news here in the Twin Cities is a new something I thought was hilarious. I don't know why I wanted to bring it up, but there's a Legends of Hip Hop tour coming to the Twin Cities next year, April 13th at the Target Center. So, featuring Juvenile, Scarface, Too Short, DJ Quick, 8 Ball, and MJG and Bun B. So right away it's like, who the heck? I don't know. I know one of those names. I know Juvenile. I don't know these other people. So, I mean, Legends of Hip Hop, is it really Legends of Hip Hop?
I
I don't know.
8Ball and MJG, they're legit. Juvenile's, of course, legit. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know these other people. I know Juvenile in that one song.
Which song?
I don't remember. Couldn't you?
Back that ass up.
Was that Juvenile?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know that one.
Oh,
slow motion. Oh.
Slow motion for me.
Let's see. What year was this? I mean, this feels like 04, 05. Nick is in college and he's at the party. College party. College party. Nick at the college party. Nick at the college party. It's a good tune. Also, like, this is the influx of New Orleans rappers, because it was Juvenile, is Master P, Cash Money Millionaires, Lil Wayne, Birdman, C Murder, who I actually think is dead or in jail. I should probably look that up.
I mean, I don't know. Let's have time. Look up these other names. Scarface, Too Short, and I can't think of I don't know what 8Ball or MJG and are. So I mean,
All right. So yeah, C Murder, 2003 was convicted of the 2002 beating and fatal shooting of a fan, 16-year-old Steve Thomas at the Platinum Club. Wait, A.
At the Platinum.
Wait, no, hold on. All right, so A, you're beating you're beating a fan to death. B, you have a 16-year-old at the club. What's going on here?
I think the name Platinum Club says it all.
Yeah. All right, so he is conviction upheld. Yeah. Either way, he's in jail. Yeah, for a while. That's all.
Would you like to go to this concert?
No. Where is it?
Target Center.
What? Shoot. Well, let's find a Too Short song, because I know the name is familiar, and I know that his name has a $sign in it. Yeah. So let's try and find his cocktails. Oh, this one sounds familiar.
Introducing add-on advantage.
Yeah, Too Short, the Expedia ad. That sounds good. All right. I mean, this
sounds like a 90s beat.
Yeah, this does sound like late 90s, early 2000s. That was what I was thinking of. But anyway. Yeah. What like super concert that you missed out that you were sad that you did?
I'm an 80s fan. I'm even a 90s fan too, and I feel like they just I think there was a 90s thing that came through not too long ago. I think they had like Salt and Pepper or something.
Yeah.
And it had like something I recognized more of the bands. They would have jumped on, but I don't know. It wasn't a big deal. I think maybe New Kids on the Block.
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. Oh, I'm a player. Tech 9, I'm a
They're ripping off Amadeus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go. All right. What's next?
All right, just a little bit of update on the romaine lettuce news situation that's been on the news the last couple of weeks. So, the Center for Disease Control Prevention did something I never heard them ever doing this before. Was telling people not to eat romaine lettuce like anywhere all last week because there was an outbreak of E. coli believed to be believe in it, but they couldn't find the source, so they pretty much just outright called
They're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I think right now they're narrowing it down to a region in California. So I think romaine lettuce is kind of being okay and back on right now, and yeah, I mean, as I said, it was a straight up like don't eat any romaine lettuce. That's like I've never seen anything like that before. Like they just said all of it, just don't touch all of it.
Could you give up eating anything green for the rest of your life?
I feel like I could say yes, but I mean, honestly, after being on Whole30 for so long, when you're trapped in like a set rules of like food and stuff, you miss the other stuff. So I don't think I could give up green stuff.
Yeah.
It's and I love eating unhealthy food, but you gotta have that health stuff every once in a while. Even if you're not a fan, I love I like lettuce on foods.
This is a Damashek one, but what's the best color of food?
The best color of food?
Yeah. Because there's an answer.
Red.
Brown.
If
you think about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going with red because I think of meat that's rare that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. But could you give up lettuce for the rest of your life? Forever.
I think I could. I think I probably could.
I don't know, just every now and then, like even just like an iceberg lettuce salad with some real blue cheese dressing and some bacon bits and just blah, 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 blah. It's just very satisfying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it says. I mean, I probably I go through most of my life not eating a lot of vegetables, but I mean to do it forever, I mean, it says with Whole30 and everything, like I was eating frozen foods and stuff, and I love a lot of it. It's one of those things where and since I'm off Whole30, I still make stuff with vegetables now because it accompanies meals well. So I mean, to give up lettuce or something, I mean, generally I probably could, but I like having I like having it every once in a while. But as I said, this E. coli thing, I think was it 40 something, or the 40 cases in 12 states getting E. coli. I mean, obviously E. coli not a fun thing to have, but it's crazy that they just ban, not really straight away ban, but they recommend no one get it. So hopefully in the next week or so, I think everything should be back to normal. Because I mean, not that I know the food market that much, but I think a lot of companies are affected by it. Because the whole romaine lettuce thing was multiple.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of homegrown. I think I heard a story of a Minnesota company that sells organic romaine lettuce that obviously does not have any issues with E. coli because it's all natural. What do you call it? Like specialty lettuce. But I mean, because there's been a ban on it, they got affected by it. So I mean, people are losing money.
All right. What's next?
Talk about Black Friday. See this website here. Give me a second here to load. Obviously after Thanksgiving, what do people do nowadays? Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I think I have the current up to date number here before this ad popped up. Like record sales for a bunch of for consumers right here. I think Cyber Monday, as I said, this site says $7.9 billion. Billion. That's so. It's probably closer to $10 billion for all the shopping things from Black Friday, from Cyber Monday. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are spending a lot of money. I don't understand the economy that much, but I think a lot of people are throwing a lot of money down, whether they have it or not, or if it's on their credit cards. A lot of people shopped, and I think I was one of the few people who did not.
Really?
I didn't buy a thing. No. I have everything I want now. I have a new Hyundai. I have my, I have my phone. I have bills to pay. I want Nick's shopping on, staying in his condo. And I don't know. I didn't do too much shopping. The gifts I'm going to give everyone, I like getting, simple gifts I can get anytime. It doesn't have to be on the site. I didn't see any really great out of this world deals anyway.
Well, see that's the thing. Like the deals on Cyber Monday are mostly like meh at best.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's like if you're gonna use these Cyber Mondays to buy stuff, if you really need something like the new TV, like I think that's the most like everyone, I think, is always looking for new TVs or something. If you really need it, then you can go buy it. But I bought a new TV last year. That was my Subway shopping last year. Was a brand new TV.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
Cameras, phones.
No, I got so used to the iPhone emojis that now I have to get used to the Android emojis again. I understand first world problems, but still.
Yeah, if you can't see right now, Andy's he's not even like at the computer. He's just playing on his phone.
No, this is how I think people understand. Like, this is how the second half of all the shows go.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the news.
He puts me to work.
Shit.
Puts me to work.
Yeah.
Shit. So, fantastic record sales. I don't know what that says about the economy because I feel like the stock market's been, down crazy in the past week or two. But, yeah, I think it's up 20% on this one website here, CBS News. So, yeah. So, I think people's, confidence in, supplies and buying stuff, that's at all-time high. So, that's pretty cool.
What's, you know any stock, Nick?
Yes.
What do you got?
I don't know. I have a guy who controls all the money that I have in my Roth IRA. So we have mutual funds and stock. I think quite a few of it's in tech stock now, which I think has been taking a hit.
Yeah, what can you do? Because actually I have a lot of Apple and Facebook, and it hasn't been doing great the past month.
Well, with me, because I have my money in boring spoiler alert of my secret, my life is that I have stuff in the Roth IRA. The stuff where I'm not supposed to touch until I'm 59 and a half or something, because I don't, because money that I've inherited from my mother was, I was spending a lot of it that paid for my college, and I'm like, I don't want to keep tapping it anymore. Let's put all of it in kind of locked and stuff for long term, investing, because they say the longer money sits, the more it grows. Yep. So I think my stuff has been doing pretty good the last few years. I don't think I've been losing too much, especially since that 2010, 2008 to 2010, I lost a lot in the market crash. But I don't know. As I said, I tried.
Also, because you cashed it out for strippers.
I was cashing it out. Quite a bit of that.
Oh, really? I was just making that up.
No, I did. Well, to get by and stuff, I tapped into it, but now I moved everything else. I moved to Roth IRAs. So if you tap it, you owe penalties on it, or you get to pay taxes right away. So keeping it, let it sit for a number of years, and unfortunately, I didn't realize. I have to live to 59 and a half now, so that kind of kills my my life plan. So I have to rethink life decisions now to make it so I can have that money. But this is you leave it sit and hopefully it'll be there. But shit, after the crash, the Big Short, what I learned is shit, that stuff could disappear anyways. It doesn't make sense. So,
all right, what's next?
All right, last story, something I didn't think was such a big deal, but we talked about it on our law podcast for some reason, was the death of Stephen Hillenburg, who was the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wow.
A show that I never really... I know of it, I watched it, but I didn't watch it religiously, so I couldn't name episode after episode. There's a couple that stick in my head, but everyone loves... a lot of people I know love this show. It affected them. I feel like it's a... I think I was too old for it to really enjoy it, but but it's one of those shows, I believe, where adults can appreciate it, or they get the subtle humors and stuff, because I think there's a lot of adult humor into it. But if you kind of just try to sit and watch episode after episode, it's this is just wacky stuff that maybe entertains kids and makes no silly sense at all.
It's also great for memes.
Oh, I guess so.
On the old Twitter.com, it is really good for memes.
SpongeBob has spun off a musical. There's a Broadway musical, I guess, now. They've done some movies. I think it's still airing new episodes. I don't know. Yeah, so, I don't know. The big thing I said after I heard news, I was oh well, because, the show's still going on and whatnot. So, but yeah, kind of sad to see that it's gone. I found out that a friend of mine realized he didn't think that the person who does SpongeBob SquarePants' voice, Tom Kenny, was still alive. And the guy is definitely still alive. He's still doing it now. So, I mean, so you don't lose the, if we lost one of those main guys, it's like, it'd be like if Seth MacFarlane died, it'd suck because that affects Family Guy in more ways than one, because not only did he create it, but he's voicing a lot of the characters and whatnot. So I mean, heartbreaking, but a lot of celebrities die, and I don't care about SpongeBob.
Oh, what can you do? R.I.P. Oh, also, R.I.P. Stan Lee. We can talk about that.
Oh yeah. That's kind of he was 90s.
The entire Channel 4 News team. I'm Veronica Corningstone,
and I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Nick, what you got going on this weekend?
I was thinking of just I want to start winterizing my condo.
Want to start winterizing the condo?
So there's there's this thing called like there's this plastic wrap that you can buy to put around your windows and stuff. But I'm trying to get a hold of a cousin of mine or any female friends of mine who have that what do you call it, the hair dryer, because I don't own one. So I'm trying to get a hold of someone who has a hair dryer so I can get all the wrinkles out or whatever.
How do you not have a hair dryer?
Dude, look at my head. I don't have hair anymore. I don't need a hair dryer.
Yeah, it's probably pretty fair. If you want to support the show, tell a friend, spread the word. How awesome the show is. Also, how awesome producer Allie is. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. And for Nick, I'm Andy saying Annyeong, sayonara, and bye-bye. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.